Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself to everyone who is listening or watching this podcast?
Yeah, sure. I'm Zach Feldman. I'm a film, radio, TV producer, director, editor here in New York. And I also run my own internet radio station called Z Radio Live. And yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm getting gray hair from it.
That's good.
Yeah,
Awesome. Okay. So let's jump into the first question. It is,
sure.
how did you get into the radio business?
Oh man, I always liked radio when I was growing up back in literally back in the day. Listened to the radio all the time,
Hmm.
and I just always wanted to be like this presenter of sorts, like kind of be like the
Yeah.
guy hosting it because I thought he was the coolest.
Hmm.
Um, I started actually in my bedroom, literally just with a microphone that was hooked up with a USB cord and then a
Yeah.
speaker playing music. So I literally just put the microphone to the speaker and I just put it there and be like, hey, like hear this. This is the next song. It's a Britney Spears song, and then I just put it literally to the mic to the speaker. Um, and then from there, I just kind of grew, and I was like, this is something I'm kind of interested in.
Hmm.
Explored it throughout my childhood, kind of creating this thing called Z Radio Live,
Yeah.
and it was this brand that was live. It was always live, and it was
Hmm.
always a station that was on the air playing music, commercial free, because I always thought commercials kind of got in the way of things.
Hmm.
But it started to grow even bigger than that. People started
Wow.
listening in, tuning in, all around the world, and then fast forward to today, where the
Hmm.
station is legally licensed. We're on 30 different channels, 30 different platforms, and
That's awesome.
it's going really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good. What made you decide that you wanted to start your own internet radio station?
Oh man, it all started. It started also from my passion of just wanting to be like, it's kind of cocky to say like the center of attention in a sense, but I really
Hmm.
didn't want to be the center of attention. I just wanted to be like the guy who had that golden voice, behind the
Yeah.
microphone. I always hated filming myself, and I still do
Hmm.
to this day. Hate like literally editing or anything that has to do with myself video
Yeah.
wise. But when it comes to audio, oh, I'll do that any day of the week.
Hmm.
Um, but I guess starting the internet radio station really was a way for me to kind of make something for myself to have um to be able to say to them, oh, here's something that I do. I also have an internet radio station. I have
Hmm.
I already work in radio, so get me
Hmm.
on radio. And that
Yeah.
was kind of my way to leeway into working in radio. I was in Hofstra my first year, and at Hofstra it was a part-time position. Actually, it was originally going
Hmm.
to be like a part-time like road kind of guy,
Yeah.
going to like different towns and showing off the station and stuff like that at
Hmm.
BLI. And then Al Levine, he actually he was one of the jocks on the air, and he still is.
Hmm.
He looked at me and he saw my resume and he saw that I was doing this like internet radio station. He's like, you know what,
Hmm.
this guy can maybe do something. And sure enough, he let me have a board op position that turned
Hmm.
into an on-air talent position, literally
Wow.
at the start of college. So
Wow.
just kudos to him. Kudos to him for sure of that. Aside from that, and then I started doing video with the station.
Hmm.
I always did video through my whole career there, and the rest is history. I worked at 95.5 PLJ later on before the end of college, and
Hmm.
right before that subsided and became a Christian rock station.
Hmm.
Sadly, um, it's always been in my blood.
That's good. That's awesome. How did Z Radio Live come to be?
Well, it was something that I always wanted to kind of make as like a brand in a sense.
Hmm.
It started off as just me and my friends kind of messing around and
Hmm.
and hanging out and trying to like kind of make names for ourselves. YouTube was
Yeah.
starting to become popular back in 2008,
Hmm.
and I wanted to do something like that. There was like these live stream channels like Blog TV was a big thing,
Hmm.
and I would go on there like every weekday and broadcast like this, chatting to the audience but playing the
Hmm.
hits, and also kind of being this on-air talent in a sense.
Hmm.
And that was a big deal, and it was kind of like my first platform in a sense to see where this thing can kind of go.
Yeah.
And then when I started to learn more about the radio business, then I kind of was able to grow it and make it into something prosperous and actually professional sounding, because before it was
Hmm.
kind of like just messing with your friends and having a good
Yeah.
time. Like I have air checks from like a long time ago that are just absolute dog crap. They just sound like
Hmm.
they just sound terrible, but like they're the growing pains.
Yeah.
Um, but it kind of came out of just, trying to have a good time,
Hmm.
trying to just, do something that was a hobby of mine and kind of continue it,
Yeah.
and through that I was able to make something big. And it's crazy how much it's grown now. We have
Hmm.
over like 15,000 listeners per
Wow.
month on the station worldwide, and I still can't get over that number.
That's
It's
awesome.
grown so rapidly ever since we've gone, super, legal, and just,
Hmm.
able to kind of branch out into more markets.
Yeah. That's awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
How is it owning like an internet radio station? How's that like?
Honestly, I don't really I don't really think of it as that. I just kind of think of it as something I've always had like
Yeah.
connected to me.
Hmm.
Um it's kind of this platform that, I always thought of it sort of actually as like a playlist for myself.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
station really was meant to be just kind of like this way I can only I can, instead of having to download music onto my phone, I can have a
Hmm.
playlist playing music for me, and then I can just go to that link and play the music for myself.
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
was kind of like, I feel like that was kind of the idea behind it in a sense. But
Hmm.
um I never really see it as a radio station. I more of just see it as like a hobby of mine and something that
Hmm.
I enjoy, and something that I can kind of show off and be like, hey, this is, a fun listen to station when you're just kind of chilling and
Yeah.
vibing. And
Hmm.
it's very eclectic, because there's not many stations out there, and I don't think there are any stations out there that are kind of
Yeah.
playing alternative rock and top 40 and
Mm.
alternative music, and then also helping small artists promote themselves too.
Yeah.
It's definitely a unique genre, and it's
Hmm.
something that I don't think I've seen other stations attached to, and
Hmm.
it's just really different. And I
Yeah.
like it a lot, and I hope people like
Mhm.
it too.
Yeah. It's good that's different. We need different. And
Yes, we
different is
do.
good. Hmm.
Too much of the same, playing the same songs all over and over and over again. And that's
Hmm.
what I kind of like about Z Radio Live. And actually, my girlfriend Jessica, she was telling me too. She's like, I listen to Z Radio Live because, like, I listen to the radio, and like the radio literally just has the same songs over and over again, the top
Hmm.
5 songs all in a row, and it's
Yeah.
always the same thing every single hour. And then
Hmm.
when you listen to Z Radio Live, you always got something different.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm looking at the system right now. Right now, Miley Cyrus "Wrecking Ball" is playing. Like,
Hmm.
you haven't heard that song in, I don't know, it's a long ass time. And now
Yeah.
it's still playing on the air on Z Radio
Hmm.
Live. So
Yeah.
it's a nice mix of things that you didn't think you were to hear still
Hmm.
to this day, but then it's like, now then it's also the current hits, and it's a
Yeah.
really good mix of that.
Hmm. That's good. Like that. Is it important to have a music license for an internet radio station? And if so, how can you get one?
Oh, 100% is. It's definitely
Hmm.
important to have that. You want to do this as legal as possible.
Yeah.
You want to pay the artist. The artists are the ones making
Hmm.
you money. So
Yeah.
a legal license to play music is definitely what you need to do.
Hmm.
Um, and the way that I went about it, I went through Lab 365. Lab 365 has been a tremendous help in helping
Hmm.
us grow into what we wanted to be.
Hmm.
What they do is they take a bunch of stations that you pay a fee. They take a bunch of stations, and then they combine it into one license,
Yeah.
and then that license is um, allowed to be licensed to whoever's playing the music. So like if I'm the station Z Radio Live trying to play
Hmm.
music that's copyrighted, Live 365 covers that, and they
Hmm.
cover that through a lot of channels, like through the US, UK, and through Canada.
Hmm.
And it's just so relieving to have a company that is able to provide this, because without them, for the small broadcaster like I am, it
Hmm.
would cost me at least $3,000 to $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
And it's really fortunate to be able to have this service, and to be able to support, for them to be able to support small radio
Hmm.
stations and help them become legally licensed.
That's awesome. For anyone who wants to start an internet radio station, how should they get started? Yeah.
Don't. No, I'm kidding. They can go about the same way that I did. Explore it.
Hmm.
Start off small. Like broadcast to a few friends. Locally by yourself. Um, try to be independent. I mean, there's so many different streaming services out there now. Twitch is out there.
Yeah.
YouTube Live, Facebook Live. You can go anywhere now and stream.
Hmm.
Um, on different platforms, and there's just so much more to do out there now,
Hmm.
that it's like, is there options to do radio stations? Sure, that's definitely a market too.
Yeah.
But you literally have so many outlets to broadcast live on. When I was growing up, it was kind of like you had internet radio was kind of still, it was kind of just a thing just starting up. It really wasn't the biggest, market to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's blown up like crazy.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was kind of like just starting up brand new. So,
Mm-hmm.
you had the broadcasters kind of going to block TV, and you had people going to like, actually, I was actually originally on this platform called AWcast, and that was
Hmm.
like really back in the day. And that was like a website you just broadcast to, and it would give you like a streaming link.
Mm-hmm.
It was like the most jankiest thing in the entire world.
Wow.
But, I digress from that. That was a long time ago. But, if you want to start your own radio station, it's kind of just figure out what you want your music to sound like,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of learn the business a little bit. Listen to radio. If you're passionate about it and you want to kind of make something that's yours and unique, and you can kind of put your stamp on it, yeah, then go for it. What's great is we actually on our station too, we have programming too, and I kind of emphasize them at podcasts, because they're literally just podcasts. We're rebroadcasting on the air, and it just sounds incredible.
Yeah.
We have shows like Happy Hour on the air. We have the BMB show, which is kind of cool, and then I have my show now, the Zach Feldman show, and it's just awesome to have that. Also, the music's hitting, and then also have those uncensored talk radio shows.
Yeah.
And I guess it's also what makes us unique too, is that we don't have the FCC regulations to have to abide by, so we can kind of do what we want.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives us the freedom to kind of talk about whatever we want, be uncensored and have a little fun with it, without the rulings of the people above.
That's good. I like it. What kind of equipment do you recommend, like, that anyone like should get for like anyone who wants to start like a radio station?
Well, I will say, start small. Don't spend all your money on something that, you don't know if you want to get into or not. Start definitely small. Get like a Yeti microphone or something you could just plug into your computer just to start up. And then build yourself up to it. I started when I was 14, 15, and I literally started with nothing. I started with a USB microphone, and then I would actually do DJing gigs on the side, because I was kind of getting into DJing at the time, which I think also kind of got me into radio in that sense too. But I was doing DJing on the side, and I would use that money to then invest in equipment and invest in myself and invest in different things like microphones and this like arm stand and mic processors and everything like that. The more you invest in yourself, the more it's gonna sound a little bit more professional. But it's really not about the equipment. It's more about the passion and about the aspect that you really want to do this, and you want to make a name for yourself, and you want to you want to grow something that's going to help the world out, or it's going to it's going to provide entertainment for somebody out there. And if you have that passion and that drive to start creating content that you feel passionate about and that you feel will make a difference, then totally go for it. I always love people who are passionate about it, who want to, actually strive in what they're creating to really go full force with it. Because if you're not passionate, it just comes out like crap.
That's good. Why is it important to have a social media account for internet radio station? And and what platforms like are important to get on?
Yeah, I mean, as you know too, you have what was it, Arizona hits 100 Arizona. And that you post all the time on there. And by the way, I am jealous of your new music stuff that you post on there, and I think it's pretty cool.
Thanks.
It's kind of like that. It's getting the word out. About the station. Without getting the word out, you just kind of just dust in the air. It's marketing is very important when it comes to internet radio, because you don't just have a signal to anybody can tune into. This is something that someone needs to go to on their phone and click on it and then click on you. So definitely marketing yourself on social media on all these different platforms is definitely important, and it's very important to brand yourself and have all those domains and everything that you have towards your station. I can't tell you how upset I am about not having the Twitter handle that we have. And I don't know, I think I do actually have the Twitter handle for it. We don't own Z Radio Live as the Twitter handle. And it's because I think I originally grabbed it, and then I used like a fake email, and then I completely forgot the fake email. I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because it's sitting there. It's literally sitting there. And I've kind of contacted Twitter like a billion times, and no one answers me. but that's how the cookie crumbles, I guess. So now we have Z Radio on there. But if I had Z Radio Live on as the Twitter handle, I'd feel a lot better because then I'd be all branded everywhere. So social media is so important, and even in today's age, you can, as you know too, social media can help bring in listeners. It shows people you exist, and it shows people that you are you're out there and you're active. You're not just a sitting robot. Like a lot of these stations are. A lot of these stations are just you put your time and effort into it. You're just putting a rotation in, and then that's it. And then you let it go, and then you try to reap the profits off of it. Whatever you can. But when you are out there and you are promoting yourself and you are trying to make a name for yourself, like how you do too with the Hits 100 Arizona, it's just, that's how you make a brand. That's how you stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Yeah, that's good. Is it important to have a website for an internet radio station? If so, what sites do you recommend for making a website?
I've always used WordPress for my sites, but any site creator works. I know a friend of mine uses Wix for his video portfolio sites, and they are beautiful. And I'm floored by how beautiful they are actually on Wix, because I originally, when Wix came out originally, and I tried it out, I was like, this is like, okay. I mean, it's kind of amateurish, but I mean, I think they've upgraded their systems or something, because they look incredible. Try to have the most beautiful site you can. If you're passionate about it, like I said earlier, you kind of have this drive to make it perfect, and that's kind of what I've tried to do with Z Radio Live. Every single step of the way, just kind of trying to make it a little better. What can we fix here? What can we do differently here? Why are we not having listeners at this time? Let's figure out why we can fix this stuff. And a website is basically the staple of your existence as an internet radio station, because you're online. It's in the name, internet radio. So you have to definitely have the presence and the and have a site that's going to be something that people want to attract to, not detract from it or think it's amateurish.
That's good. For getting music for the station, what are the sites that you recommend?
So the sites that I recommend, it's kind of there's subscription sites that you can go to. I can't think of the names right now, but there are subscription sites out there that you can go to, and that you pay a fee, and then you get the latest tracks in, kind of distributors like that. And then also kind of making connections with the labels themselves. I have a few connections that I've been working with, like Century Music is one of them. Just a ton of different labels who are all trying to promote their music. And having those relationships with those kind of contacts helps you then to, if you want to bring an artist on the air too, not only get their track, but also bring the artist on the air. And it helps you kind of network in that sense, because you always want to be connected as a radio station, be connected with the artist as much as you can. Then, because it's kind of like they scratch your back, you scratch their back in a sense.
That's good. How do you recommend for like putting together like a radio program like for the station?
It's like you think of it as like, what do you want to hear during the hour? What do you want to hear during the day, during the evening, wherever you are? Do you want something that's going to wake somebody up? Do you want something that's going to make somebody happy? If it's a Friday night, do you want something that's going to rock the crowd, make everybody go crazy? And that's kind of how I look at it too. On Friday nights, I try my best to kind of play more like upbeat, tempo kind of music, where it's more of like a party in your car in a sense, and that kind of gets people vibing for the Friday night. During COVID, we were just playing, more upbeat music. We tried to stay away from anything that was kind of sad, because I never like to put anything that's kind of sad on this station specifically, because I kind of want it to be like a positive, always positive 24/7. But if there's a real popular song out there that's kind of negative, sure, why not? But in a sense, I try my best to kind of make it seem so, so positive and so, upbeat as much as I can, because I think that really gives people going, and it makes people happy too.
Yeah, it does. What platforms like should people like look into like getting listeners?
Well, we do a lot of Facebook ads, and Instagram ads. Those are places that I kind of seen some growth, which is kind of cool. I won't give all the secrets away, but being able to connect with a lot of stations and a lot of directories, as they
Mm-hmm.
call them. Directories are the platforms where they run radio stations
Yeah.
on. Being on a lot of those actually helps too. You know, a lot of people come reach out to us to kind of,
Mm-hmm.
they're like, hey, we want to put Zero Radio Live on this on our platform. Can you help us out?
Mm-hmm.
And we deliver. You know, we don't charge a fee or anything like that to
Yeah.
put us on the air, because it helps us. You know, it helps
Mm-hmm.
them get traffic to their site, but it also helps us get listeners to our station. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and the more the merrier, as I say. You know, I don't want to degrade anybody from it. You know, I don't want to take anybody, from listening to us. If you're
Mm-hmm.
on a certain directory, I want you to be able to find us.
Yeah.
It's definitely important to find Z Radio Live wherever you are. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's also so grateful about this new launch that we have with Audacy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Being able to be on Audacy has been huge, because it's literally the very best in radio
Mm-hmm.
and in and in being on platforms. It's there's many other platforms out there, but Audacy really is the top tier when it comes
Yeah.
to being on an internet station. And they
Mm-hmm.
and they are over delivering like crazy now. Originally radio.com, and this was a huge step for us, because it was like that really solidified that we are something. We are
Yeah.
a big brand. And we're
Mm-hmm.
getting to be that big brand, and
Yeah.
now it's grown to that big brand. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited
Yeah.
for the future.
That's good. Congrats.
Thank you.
Mm, you're welcome.
You as well too.
Thank
Being
you.
on Audacy as well.
Yeah. It's awesome. The platform's awesome. The app is awesome. And they did a really good job putting it all together.
Oh yeah, 100%. They did.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still kind of confused about the name change, but we'll
Yeah.
see how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
The name is pretty interesting and all that. Like that it's similar to the other like editing audio platform Audacity.
Oh, that's exactly what I always thought too.
Yeah.
I always thought it was literally Audacity. I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's an editing software. Cool.
Yeah.
No, it's a radio station. Are you
Mm-hmm.
sure? Maybe.
Yeah. Then for anyone who wants to check you out and follow you, should they like check you out on?
Sure, you can check me out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I'm all over the place on at Zach L. Feldman. That's always my handle, ZachLFeldman. But you can check out the radio station on anything except for Twitter as Z Radio Live. We're all over the place. And then you can also listen to the station, zradiolive.com. Very simple. It's on the mic flag. There it is.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.